Tom Thibodeau could be making serious changes to the New York Knicks rotation in the next playoff series, and we have to talk about it. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video, as we always do, because Tom Thibodeau was asked about making potential changes and kind of extending out the seven-man rotation right now. And here's what he had to say. We could. Well, thank you to Fred Katz for that amazing question, and Tom Thibodeau for that amazing Tom Thibodeau answer. We could is exactly what Tom Thibodeau would say when asked, is he going to do more than a seven-man NBA rotation? In this day and age in the NBA, most teams go 8 players deep with, like, kind of a floater who's going to play 3 to 5 minutes just in, like, a random spurt at the end of the second quarter or something like that. But right now, when we look at things, the New York Knicks have kept the rotation very short. Now, mainly, that's due to injuries. I think they would have an 8-man rotation, but Thibs doesn't trust 8 men on the Knicks because now Bojan Bogdanovic is down. He was our 8th man. Julius Randle's obviously gone with the shoulder. And that leaves Alec Burks and a group of guys who are unproven for the rest of the New York Knicks rotation, and Thibs has not gone to the well for any of them yet. Now, if we look at Game 6, and this was also the case for Game 5 between the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers, we saw them go 7 deep, with Deuce McBride not playing too many minutes in either game, and then Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein splitting the center minutes, and then the rest of the rotation playing over 40 minutes, not just a little over 40 minutes. Dante DiVincenzo played the entire Game 6 because he was playing well. Simply, that's the only reason. Josh Hart played 46 minutes, which is his average for the playoffs. Jalen Brunson played 44 minutes, which is around his average. And OG Anunoby played around 45 minutes, while he's averaging 41 minutes per game for the playoffs. Thibs has 3 guys who are playing over 40 minutes in the playoffs for this team. Now, that is absurd. Usually, there's 1 or 2 guys in a rotation who usually might not be the star player or are a younger star that are going to play over 40 minutes per game. Now, the Dallas Mavericks have both Luka and Kyrie Irving playing 44 minutes. Anthony Edwards is playing over 40 minutes per game. So we do see it. So it's not too surprising that Brunson's doing it. And also, it's not too surprising that Josh Hart's doing it. We know he can play in high volumes. So that kind of leads to knowing the Knicks can have 2 guys over 40 minutes. But OG's at 41.7. I mean, let's just take a look at the stats here. Maybe I should have sorted this by minutes because that's kind of what I'm talking about. But when you look at this Knicks team, only 9 guys have played in the playoffs so far. Precious has been entirely situational. The only times he's come in is when Mitchell Robinson was out, when Mitchell Robinson got out for a half, and then Hartenstein got 5 fouls, and that's it. Outside of that, the Knicks have only had 8 guys play, and Bojan Bogdanovic got injured in Game 4, and let me just say, 1 minute in to Game 4. Like, what he was playing literally 30 seconds before he hurt his ankle, and he needed surgery done on it. If you look, the only other guy who's come in off the bench who wasn't already in the rotation was Precious Achiuwa, and that was simply because Mitchell Robinson was dealing with injuries. Now, Hartenstein did get 5 fouls in that game that the Knicks ended up winning because Precious came up huge. We saw him guard Joel Embiid super, super well. We saw him just go to work, hold Embiid to 2 points in one of the most important games of the season. The Knicks won that game, so I want to say that was Game 4, and it was really a moment of like, oh, Precious can actually play, but it's a wonky fit next to Mitchell Robinson or Isaiah Hartenstein with Precious coming off the bench. Now, I've said before, I do think Precious is a power forward, so I think it kind of works with Hartenstein, but it doesn't really work with Mitch, who he'd probably be sharing more of his minutes with considering they're both on the bench together. And it makes for an interesting thought because Alec Burks is an NBA veteran. He's been on 4 different NBA playoff teams in his career. He's had good showings in the playoffs. He's had bad showings. He was in the playoffs with the Knicks, and he had a good showing. He played really well in the playoffs for the Knicks in 2021, where Thibs was obviously the coach. So it makes you wonder, are they going to go to the Alec Burks well? I think they should. Because when you look at it, I understand Alec Burks has not played well since coming back to New York. I understand that Alec Burks had a slow start to this year when he started with Detroit before really heating up. When we consider everything, a 7-man rotation is not sustainable, especially because Burks, he's not a point guard, But to a degree, he can take the ball out of Brunson's hands a tiny bit, and Brunson's really, really working with that ball in his hands. But I would love for Alec Burks to just take over Bogdanovic's role. Like, all right, dude, you're going to go in the game for 8 minutes. We need you to stand on the wing and then in the corner and just rotate back, be ready to catch that ball and shoot that thing. Be a pure spot-up shooter for us. It's all we need. We just need another body in there. You're not the world's worst defender or anything. So we have that going for us. There's enough reason to believe that Alec Burks can really set up against the Indiana Pacers and be a decent spot-up shooter. I mean, if that dude shoots 38% from three as a spot-up shooter for the Knicks in the Pacers series, that's a massive win just because it gives our guys a little bit more rest. I think with the Pacers and the fact that they do not play defense, it could make for Alec Burks to be able to just seriously hit shots. And more than anything, with the way the Pacers play offense, because they are the polar opposite of the New York Knicks. They are a run-and-gun, offensively based team. They are not how the Knicks play that slow-down, grind-it-out, defense-first game. And historically, the Knicks' style is more successful in the playoffs. It's why I think the Knicks are going to beat the Pacers, is because their style is more suited for the NBA playoffs. The Bucks gave the Pacers some real hell without Giannis and with Dame in and out of the roster and injured the entire series. So when you look at things, I think the Knicks are going to beat the Pacers if they force the Pacers to play their game. Now, this video is not about that, so I'm not going to go into that. Dariel's going to do a video on this. But when we look at things, the Knicks know the Pacers are not a good defensive team. It gives them leniency to play a good offensive player like Alec Burks a little bit more, just because he could help with some three-point shooting. We know the Pacers gun that thing from deep often, and they're not afraid to do it. The Knicks did not guard the three ball that well against the 76ers at all. They're going to need someone in there who can throw some threes back. And Alec Burks, at this point, is one of the most trusted three-point shooters on the roster. I know he played badly, but the Knicks don't have much wiggle room with all these injuries. So they're going to have to go to someone. I don't think a seven-man rotation is sustainable against the Pacers. The Pacers are really good at making games very fast-paced. And though I think the New York Knicks will be able to mix the style in their favor more, there's going to be a game, maybe two, where the Pacers get out and running on the Knicks, and the Knicks get caught up in it, and Brunson will burn out eventually. He has the highest usage rate in the NBA playoffs so far. He's played so many minutes, dude. Like, I just think it would be so beneficial if the Knicks can extend that rotation to one more guy. 8-man is fine. They could do that. And it'll make a world of difference if Brunson's playing 3-4 less minutes per night. That would help the Knicks so much. It'll help Brunson in the long run. Those minutes will add up throughout these playoffs. So I hope that they do actually do this, and I kind of think they will. I don't think they're going to keep the 7-man. They'll probably experiment with Precious first, because Precious already played. We know Thibs isn't the most open to switching things up. So if I had to guess who the 8th man would be, it's going to be Precious. And I'll put out a poll as this video comes up and just kind of see what you guys think, see who you guys want to see as the 8th man. Whether it's Precious, whether it's Alec Burks, or someone else. Also, leave your comment down below who you guys think it is. But I just think it would make sense. I don't love a 7-man rotation. It's too thin. You're going to burn the guys out. Add Precious or Burks to the rotation. It's not going to hurt. Both of them, we know they can perform. I think you just do it. You find out whatever fits better, and you'd base it off that, if you ask me. Guys, leave your comments down below what you think. Like this video. Subscribe to Knicks Digest. We're cooking right now. We got a lot of videos coming at you for these playoffs, and then once these playoffs end with a New York Knicks championship, we're going to jump right into some great off-season content. We're going to get some live streams going soon. I need to figure that out on my end. I'll keep you guys in the loop. But for now, that's all I got. Have a great day. Go Knicks.